But first, we begin with a story that's continuing to make headlines around the world, but at this point is hardly a blip on the media's radar screen here in the United States. While the mainstream media has lined its shows with the wall-to-wall coverage of President Trump and the threat of impeachment, there are massive protests breaking out worldwide that have, in many areas, turned deadly. That's Iraq, where at least 5 people have been killed in what protests that started in Baghdad and at this point have now spread throughout the entire country, with people at this point angry about unemployment and corruption and the abysmal public services being offered by the government. Hundreds of people have been injured in the protests that are being called the largest display of public outrage against Iraqi Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi's year-old government. And in Haiti, the violence continues there as well. I believe that was Port-au-Prince. As protesters continue to clash with police, you're just seeing some of the images coming out of the capital city, where Haitians have been protesting the widespread fuel and food shortages throughout the island, a free-falling economy, high inflation, and corruption allegations against government officials, including the island's beleaguered president, Jovenel Moïse. Well, last night on this program, Rick spoke with a UCLA professor who's an expert in Haiti about why the United States, and specifically the Clintons, have had a hand in pushing Haiti to this breaking point.
To think about Haiti in terms only of these specific crises, to actually completely ignore the continuous role over 200 years of U.S. imperialism in Haiti. What's happening now is a severe gas shortage that people are protesting against. They're protesting against this gas shortage because the president is trying to raise gas prices. But this also means the president is being forced to raise gas prices because the IMF is asking the president to get rid of subsidies.
Haiti to Peru, where thousands of protesters are demonstrating in the country's capital of Lima following President Martin Vizcarra's decision to dissolve Peru's Congress. That's right, to dissolve the entire Congress, prompting a fight for power and control of the country. Vizcarra has called for a new parliamentary election to be held within 4 months. But Peru's congressional president declared instead the temporary removal of Vizcarra, throwing the country into political chaos and uncertainty. And in Paris, the so-called Yellow Vest movement has now stretched into the 46th week, with large-scale protests by those angry about the country's high cost of living and rising fuel prices. Wow, look at that. And finally, we turn to Hong Kong, and this is a story that has been reported. And of course, the battle between protesters and police there, that also continues now into the 6th month. That's right, 6 months of this violence, a fight that has grown increasingly violent. In fact, police, and you may have heard about this, we've reported about this here on RT, police shot an 18-year-old protester in the chest, spurring anger and outrage, fueling the fire of public and political discontent. Thousands have been injured, with really no end on the horizon, a horizon that's been clouded in many parts of the city with smoke and tear gas. Hong Kong's police chief said the 70th anniversary of Communist Party rule in China was one of Hong Kong's most violent and chaotic days.